Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick upload. I didn't want to blend it in with a live. It's its own topic, but it'll only take a couple moments. And to give you a couple quick updates, I am still working on a set schedule, trying to decide on like 3 days of the week for doing a live stream and an upload or two. And one for the other channel where I'm going to do Bible readings and stuff like that for those interested. So I wanted to do a positive spin on a comment video. We have such a cesspool here of negativity on the internet sometimes that it is especially important to keep our mind on heavenly things, aka that higher frequency, that higher vibration. So I wanted to do something a little different and give a shout out to a couple of our friends of the channel. We're very blessed that way. And without further ado, now Trevor did have a couple more comments. But just so you know, Trevor, I didn't forget them. I'm going to make their own video of those because you mentioned a song, and that'll actually be a really nice segue into a topic I wanted to do on the Trinity aspect, but in a metaphysical way. So I hope you'll watch for that. So this is Trevor. He's a new friend of the channel, but he mentioned something pretty interesting because I say 72 comes up all the time. In the health journals that we look at in songs, in historical timelines. 1972 is just like a big year. There's a lot going on. And you can almost tell when they're trying to rewrite history because there's this inundation of information in a certain time frame. Like you'll see a whole drop of nothing but just disinformation, misinformation, some truth, but, nonsensical information that just seems to come from nowhere. That's to cover the truth. They want to make that harder to find. But 72 comes up a lot, so he said it's another way to write 666. Now, when you have three numbers beside themselves, usually you'll have like the parentheses and all that, but in Gematria, it can get a little interpretational. So 6 plus 6 times 6, it's like 1881 or 216, 612. And he says he never read the Apocalypse of Ezra, so thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things in the missing books of the KJV Bible. A lot of interesting things. So let's go to the next one. This is a shout out I do for Dion. He is our numbers man. He is our Gematria decoding man. So let's check out. He put this underneath a video that I did, and I asked him, I was curious on these specific words and what would come if he did Gilgamesh and reincarnation, resurrection, doppelganger, shapeshifter, and skinwalker. And he threw in a couple of the more interesting matches as well. So it says, check this out. Nephilim equals 86 and 50, but so does Jesuits equals 86 and 50. So basically what that would mean is that they're involved somehow. So then you have Nephilim giants is 156 and 222. That's also the same numbers for as above, so below. Gilgamesh is 177. So is that old serpent and the Jesuit order. Reincarnation is 69, 210, and 84. Antichrist system, 69, 210, 84. Jesuit order, 69 and 84. Resurrection is 78. As above, so below, 78. Order out of chaos, 78. Now you have as above, so below, above as well, with 156 and 222. So how did he get two different numbers for that? Again, some is interpretation and some is reduction. Some is like a backwards spin on things. And that can be where the two different numbers come from. But if he watches this, I'm sure he'll make a comment and let us know. So if you want to learn, check out the comment section. Always check out the comment section and my descriptions, because sometimes I'll put stuff in there that I can't verbally speak on in the videos. Not because it's not allowed or whatever, but because it's kind of for my own protection. So you also have doppelganger at 66, which is also the same for number of the beast. Shapeshift is 666. Skinwalker is 123, and so is Conspiracy, 123 and 147, respectively. So, Dion Sandals, thank you, brother. It is so awesome. And I don't call people like brother and sister all the time. I just honestly think it's kind of weird. Like, the only people we really call by titles like that is our parents, like mom and dad. If you see your brother, you don't say, hey, brother. But again, that's how the organizations work. So when I say brother, it's brother under God, brother in God's kingdom, brother in Christ. So, okay. So then this one is about the Malaysian air flight. It was on Reddit, and you guys know I check into this all the time. You guys know that I've tied the Malaysian flight in with the eclipses. We were the first channel to do that. I don't really care what the big channels are putting out now. That's how they work, man. That's how they operate. They get out ideas and they copy each other, and then they copy people who don't get the press or don't get the popularity like me, and they bank off of our work that we put in hours into this stuff. And it doesn't seem like that maybe because I do all this from a phone, but it takes a lot of time to dig up a lot of this stuff. And that's really what it is time. And that's our most valuable currency here, is our time. So this is from 5 years ago, but I wanted you to see this because this is another interesting way to look at this, and we're going to possibly touch on this, and we're going to maybe take a break on the Nephilim RPG game. We will finish that up, and I will put it in its own playlist. However, this is important, and the eclipse is coming up again, so I really want to have my whole theory laid out in front of everybody, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it because it does get wearying having people hijack your work and effort, because I could change my situation. It could change my life if I had a way again, gainful employment for myself, or, cash flow. And no, I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's just, because it could literally change my life. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, have you ever been to the Southwest? I've never left the tri-state area. I've been gaslighted my whole life and abused, but I don't want your pity, because we're all in that same boat, most of us. But it was different with me. There's some issue with travel. People will take me places, but only if it's planned out. They plan it out, or it's set in stone for a while. There is no, and for the last 5 years, I haven't even been allowed to go out of the county. When I say not allowed, I don't drive, so I have to ask, if he wants to go out there, and the answer has been a no for several years now. I've not really left my own town even, let alone the county. So it could change my life, and so that's why sometimes I do get a little discouraged by that. Because these people don't get it. They want to buy an extra car. They want to buy another toy, another boat. You see these YouTubers doing these hikes, man. You can't do that. You can't leave your life for months out of the year unless you are already well established. So the people doing that, the one girl, she said she sold something in IT. She had created something. And so she was, this is what she wanted to do with her life. And that's the way to do it, is by using your brain early on in life and banking like that, or at least being sensible about your decisions, and then being able to have a little more freedom with how you move, because you cannot move in this world productively without having the wheels greased with some money. But I don't want to do that either, because I do have principles. So I'm not going to cover what other people tell me to cover. I'm not going to not cover what other people tell me to not cover. I'm not going to be intimidated to not speak. I will always have a voice. And I want to say that real quickly. All these people saying that they're marginalized, saying that they're so oppressed. Let me be very clear, because I do come from a different generation at this point. When you are oppressed, you do not have a voice, period. You are not heard. Period. You do not get TV airtime with your protests and your run on the morning shows. Period. If you are an oppressed, marginalized being, whatever region of that you're in, whether you're black, white, red, Hispanic, Latino, whatever it is, if you are being heard saying that you are oppressed by more than 10 or 12 people around you, you are not oppressed. And yes, those of us who are actually oppressed, it gets very trying seeing people act out like the stories of our lives and and use it for creative purposes. And like I said, support their lifestyles of debauchery and excess and gluttony and just all of this. And, that's why you are seeing this extreme with some people are just ballooning out. Some people are losing weight because of price inflation. And I'm sorry, but it's to the point now where you can just sometimes look at certain individuals and understand what team they're on or what quote unquote problem they have. For example, no offense, but I'm not going to listen to a pastor who obviously has an issue with gluttony or slothfulness because he's in just as rough a shape as I'm in, right? We need leaders who are actually anointed and stuff. Anyways, that's not what this video is about, but I did want to mention it. I might do a short on that because, again, if you're being hurt at all, you are not oppressed. You're not oppressed. This is very interesting. So pay attention here. We will go back to this. But you got to watch for the uploads because I do updates on little things like this all the time. So it says, this must be like the last, I must have like recorded or screenshot these out of order. But this person says, my question is, why are there so many people replying to these in such ominous ways, especially in some sort of code, every single one mentioning something very similar? Also, the fact that almost every post or account associated with it has either been removed or suspended. It's just very curious. So with that, without further ado, 5 years ago, someone had also brought something up about the 04148, a date or DNA gene. Okay, it was April 2018, okay? About it being the second rapture. I showed you guys that screenshot. I will put all this together for the big video in one place. But again, I try to keep the updates separate when I do them. So something to do with April 14th, they were talking about it being a rapture. We've talked about multiple raptures, possibilities. And also in January 2018, Indonesia is paying a U.S. search group $70 million to go back and search for this wreckage. If they find nothing, they get no money. All within April of 2018. He says, well, it can't be biblical. The Bible says man will not know the day nor the hour of the rapture. That's true and it's false. We don't know that actually has anything to do with the rapture. We don't know that. What if aliens are just angels? Yeah, we know that that's how it is. Oh, geez. I went the wrong way. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we go. Now, but another person says, everyone's saying that it couldn't be the black box recording. That is the voicemail that Tyler got, that he posted on Twitter. Have missed what the original theory is suggesting. The supposed theory is that the passengers or survivors are using the black box maybe or some other tech to send coded messages out, warning that something is coming and going to happen on the 18th of April, and that whatever is coming is how and why the flight went missing. Now, this is April 18th, 2018, okay? And April is the first month of the new year, I believe, in the other calendar. As far as I recall, I believe it's April 1st. April Fool's Day. Allegedly, they did that on purpose. I don't know. And what else did I want to address in that? Well, we talked about this in the other video. Again, I'm going to put this all together when we do the big streams on the eclipse information. So this person says, all right, I'll bite. Let's say there was in fact something non-human on board, because that's what the first message, it said evacuate, they are not human. And the evacuate message came to his voicemail. So it's kind of like years later, a couple of years later. So it's like, number one, it went to his voicemail like 5 years later, 6 years later. So was it actually for us, for people on Earth, evacuate the Earth? Okay. Or was it to somebody else on the plane and the black box just picked it up and people were talking back and forth on the plane itself? So you might want to keep that in mind. And again, there's some big deception up with plane travel and flight travel. I'm only seeing planes fly at night. That's been the way it's been here since TV. I live in the middle of two major airports, right next to a smaller airport that's down the road, also next to an airbase. So I got all kind of things going on around me pretty much at all times. So I get a pretty good indicator, even though I don't travel out and about a lot. They're only seeming to fly at night. There's a lot less air traffic. The planes go right over the house and like shake the house. So usually I can not miss them. I don't miss them. You know what I'm saying? And so there's been a little more of that recently. But I do know there's a big deception with air travel, and I know not everybody agrees with me here, but I'm gonna keep that stance. All right, so it says, so this person is debating on whether that's what they were talking about or not. They have another theory. So I'll take any theory, but let's run this back. The plane leaves at 0043, if I'm not mistaken. Last contact was at 1:19, went off the radar shortly after. Military radar picked it up until 222. There we go again. Dion, if you're watching, maybe this is a coded message and we just need to know what these numbers mean. 222 is a code for the Antichrist. And I told you, I can't find the house number 222 on this road. 220 is my son's friend, the one that I was told. Again, I don't know if this was a psyop or a gaslight or what, but when all this stuff started for me, I was told that this young man, unfortunately and very devastatingly, was told by a certain local church that he was the AC when he was young, and his mother had cancer and died. We have a lot of that around here too, a lot of the mothers dying of cancer. This is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. The disclaimers are in the description. I'm clearly stating a fact and what is happening in my local arena. But I can't find the 222 house number. Should be right down the road, but it's not there. And then this is never seen again. If the non-human was on board, let's say it attacked everyone, so then did it reach the cockpit, forcing the plane to go down, or did the pilot make a decision and do it himself? This whole non-human on the plane makes me think of the strain. Yeah, I did too. All right, so here's where we get into the genetics, and that's going to be one of the live streams here. It might be today, might be tomorrow, but it's very soon. So he had received a DM in Indonesian that translated to, deactivate your account. This is not meant for you. You are in danger of scion. Now, of scion, pay attention to the word usage. On the way. It's saying you're in danger of scion, on the way. Locations leaving. Romeo, uniform, November. Most of us should be able to understand that when you look at that, it means run. So whoever this was is telling Tyler, the one that originally got the voice messages, to run. The last three words are police code for run, and Scion can mean multiple things. It's a synonym for Zion, which is the name of the hill on which the city of Jerusalem was built. But the person writes it as if it's some form of organization. I have one theory, but it's loose, and I can only confirm one part of the possible acronym, which would be the I is Indonesian. My reason for this is simply because the DM was Indonesia. So this person, doesn't give a really good reply to that. I'm not going to read that, but here we go. Please look at my most recent post. I looked into it further, and the numbers aren't just coordinates to a park in Malaysia. They're genome, DNA, strand, testing results I found when researching the number in a strand. The non-human message is starting to make more sense. I've sourced it all on my post about this. I tried going to this post. It's deleted. But here you have where he tells about the gene. I saved the post, so I'll probably have to go back if we want to include that in our genetics stream. But you'd be very surprised by the people who have their hands in the genetic and, ancestry cookie jar. And we saw that a YouTube CEO is also involved in genetics. We saw that the writer of a parapsychology book about lucid dreaming is also a hypnotist, and he also was a professor and did a lot of genetic engineering. And so why is this person writing a book about dreams, and why are they into hypnotism? All of these things, I believe, just confirm what I've went over in the alien abduction videos. And if you haven't seen those, you might want to check them out, because I don't think anyone has presented the information in the way that we have on the channel either. Stay tuned. I don't know if this will post first or if it will be the live video. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or tomorrow, guys, but please, these videos, take your comments. This is how videos get made. This is how we share information. Please don't ever hesitate to comment on the channel. Even if we disagree, fine. Let's have a discussion. Let's research. Let's talk about it and not go off on each other about it. But I want you guys to be encouraged to share your stories, share your information. So we can start putting these puzzle pieces together, and we can move about and operate and function in the way that best, what am I looking for here? So that we can function in the way that's best for our lives and for those in our lives, our loved ones. Okay? So I love you guys. Have a blessed day. More soon. Bye.